Treasure Coast Connector, connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Well, welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. We Venture is one of our sponsors. Do you know that this November they are producing Women, Wine, and Shoes? This is the amazing, much loved, a nonprofit fundraising event that they are producing in November at Sun Aviation. They work with business owners in Brevard, Indian River, and St. Lucie counties to help them grow and scale their business. So if you want to know more about how they can help you with your business or learn more about Women, Wine, and Shoes, go to weventure.fit.edu or call them at 321-674-7007. Treasure Coast Connector is a show that puts a spotlight on local business owners. Everyone has an interesting story of why they do what they do. When we learn about them and we do business with them and shop local, it's great for our local economy. So today is a show about celebration because it is the 2-year anniversary of this talk show. And thank you very much. I have a studio audience here today, but you know who I actually have? Actually, they're not the studio audience. These are 3 very successful Treasure Coast businesswomen. They are also authors. So we're celebrating their literary talents and their businesses today. So Emily McHugh is the author of The Little Girl's Guide to Entrepreneurship. She is the owner of Kasori, and she manufactures beautiful, high-quality technology cases. They're stunning and gorgeous. I love mine. And Diana Moret. Her book, it's a compilation effort. I got that out. You'll understand why I'm stuttering in a second. I'll tell you why. So her book is Experts and Influencers, Women's Empowerment. And she is also a virtual CFO. Her business it's called, let me just make sure I get this correct, is the Business Profit Consultancy. Janet Searsant. She is a prolific author, lots of different subject matter that she writes about. She's going to get into that in a moment. One of her books that I read, poignant and brought me to tears, Gemini Joe. She is the owner of La Maison Publishing. They're going to talk about their books, their businesses, and maybe some tips. If you have a book in your head and you want to get it out in print, they're going to share some information. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And for the stuttering, let's just pick up our champagne flutes filled with Prosecco and sprinkle. Thanks to my husband, he loves to call it that. So salud. And just, more of wonderful things. And Cindy Schwartz. So without you, my darling, there would be no show because she's surrounded by tech that I don't even know how to use. Okay. So we're just going to dive right in and we're going to take turns, okay? So what I want to hear about is, with your books in mind, just a 1-minute overview. Like when we're in networking and then there's somebody with a timer and a bell. There's no bell here. But a 1-minute overview of what got you wanting to write your book or books. And we'll go with Emily. We'll go with you first.
Well, thank you, Ellen. It's such an honor to be here, and congratulations on your 2-year anniversary. It really is quite an accomplishment in how you connect our community. And so regarding books, I think that everyone has a book inside of them because we all have a story to tell. And because we have a story, I believe it's incumbent upon each of us to find a way to get that story out. So whether it's a book, whether it's a film, whether it's whatever you choose as your medium, but words are words. So since we're speaking of books today, I think people should take the time to write their book. Yeah. Everyone should have their book.
And that's what you did. You had this idea and your mother inspired you. She said, just sit down. Just sit down, stop moving, because you're always moving around. Stop moving. And you just did free form writing, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Wow. Yes. It was more of a stream of consciousness at first, because I think what stops a lot of people is that if they don't have the outline right and they don't have the structure together, they're not sure where to start or what to do. So the key is to start with whatever ideas come to mind. Just start writing. Just start writing. And I was writing by hand I know you could type in the laptop and everything, but I felt there was this connection between the pen and the paper. And by doing that, it felt more like a visceral connection with the story. I don't know how to really explain it.
Yeah.
But that's what I did. And I wrote it out by notepads. And then after that, then I went back and typed into the laptop, and that serves as a little bit of an editing and a shaping and outlining process. So
on Kasori.com, but also Amazon, The Little Girl's Guide to Entrepreneurship. And it's not just for little girls.
that's for little girls.
Very, very, very quickly, the little girl behind that.
Yeah, the little girl. Okay, so here's the book. Let me hold it up while I speak. Okay, might as well have it there. And it's well worn, as you can tell. I try to read my own book, but I use it as a reference. And the reason why the title is because my niece Tiffany, when she was 9 years old, asked me, am I too young to start a business?
Because she looked up to you.
She was like, okay, I guess I have to wait till I'm whatever age or what have you to do this. And I was kind of caught aback by the fact that she asked that question, the mere fact that that was on her mind, that it was related to age or anything. So I'm like, it really doesn't matter your age. So that was the inspiration for the title, that you could be a little girl, you could be an older girl, whoever.
Or a man.
Or a man. It is for you. And also the fact that this book is not about female or male. It's about entrepreneurship and the fact that many times people don't expect little girls to do this. So it's a little tongue-in-cheek as well, that you may not expect it, but guess who the entrepreneur needs to be? That little girl. And she needs to start as soon as she can.
Very nice. Miss Diana Moret, you also had an idea, and you actually are working on another book, but your first book is a compilation. I got it right this time. Oh, it's going to stick with me forever. But so you have a piece of that book, but how did that come about for you?
Well, Rebecca Greuter was doing a search for authors to talk about women's empowerment. And I agree, we all have a book in us. And having gone through an experience where I had to empower myself, I said, you know what, why don't I share my story? And so it is, my chapter is in particular about financial self-empowerment, because that's sort of what I kind of do. Yeah. And I felt that by sharing my experience coming out of a divorce and having to manage my own finances and so on, I know there's a lot of women who find themselves in that situation. So I thought maybe I can help them, give them a little bit of a guidepost.
Well, that is wonderful. And so some of the reviews that I had read on social media were like, you touched people.
Yes.
You know, actually all three of you ladies touch people. And that's a wonderful gift that you have given to people that you don't always get to see and hear and experience.
That's right.
So that's a wonderful thing. So you have 400 books? No, I'm only kidding.
No.
You have a lot of books.
Oh, I just keep writing.
Yeah.
I started late in life after getting my father to make me some cassette tapes about growing up in Brooklyn, and he sent me all his poetry. I put it all together into a book about him, and I thought I had the bestseller. I mean, I went to New York a few times trying to get a traditional publisher, and I quickly learned that wasn't going to happen unless I was famous. So I started my own publishing company.
Yeah.
And that was in 2009, and I have almost 100 clients now, and we're going to be doing a book signing on June 4th. So I'm real excited about that, because I do promote my authors probably more than I promote myself.
Yeah. Your father's poetry is amazing. And before each chapter, there's a poem of his. And it is amazing. And he's kind of like a rough and tumble kind of a guy. He's a ladies' man. He's a very interesting man. I found myself laughing and giggling through some of the stories in the book. And then I was like, "Ooh, what a naughty guy he was."
He was a Gemini. There were two sides to him.
Wow. And at the very end, I was crying. So now with your books, what would you like people to take away? If they were to read your book and experience it, what would you want them to take away from it? Because some of it is for help, and some of it is for self-discovery, and some of it is entertainment. So let's just, I'll pick you first again. Let's go with you.
So, okay.
Miss Emily.
Yeah, so the title, okay, so The Little Girl's Guide to Entrepreneurship, and the tagline it is what I know now that I sure wish I knew then.
When you were starting your business.
When I was starting my business.
Yeah.
So what I want people to take away is that it's a journey. The entrepreneurial journey is just that. And sometimes people expect to start a business, everything works well, it's a success, and that's it. And that's not how it works.
There's highs and lows.
There are highs and lows, valleys, hills and valleys, and you have to be prepared for that. Like you would never take a trip without packing, checking the weather, making sure all these logistical things. Well, the same thing with a business. It's a logistical journey. So I want them to take away expectations, what to have, how to align themselves, know what to prepare for, and how to go about the process. So it's not so overwhelming and daunting that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like learn from what other people have done. You don't have to kind of do the same thing again.
Yeah, what they've done well, the mistakes that they've made, because you're very open about, both of those things. And yours is not a fluffy book. It is it's a how-to. It's very comprehensive. Even with accounting and things like that, you'd be very impressed with that chapter.
I'm
Virtual
definitely
CFO.
going to get that book now.
And then check my break-even section. Make sure it's
the
all
break-even
right.
analysis. I know all about that. No, actually, I don't. But it's nice to know that I do have a copy. So
You can look it up.
And then you know what? You don't have to have an MBA to understand business. And that's what I want people to know, that you can be more approachable, more accessible to everybody, and make it so that, because I believe everyone should have a business. I don't care what you do. You could work for someone else or not, but you need to have something that you call your own.
Yes, yeah, and that is true. So I've learned from you. I am a multi-revenue stream kind of a gal. I like that a lot, by the way. Yes, it works out very well. How about you? What is a takeaway? You kind of touched on it before, but with this book, even with some of the other chapters, what is the takeaway with your book that you would like people to know that they would experience?
Well, as I got into coaching, and a lot of business coaching for several years, I realized that women are super smart and they don't lack anything. But for some reason, when it came to money, something happens. I don't know what it is. They were trained from babyhood to not count on themselves. I'm looking forward to your book and seeing what you have to say about that, because I'm sure it's right on. Or they just don't think they're smart enough, or they were told they weren't smart enough, or they were told that, Billy can do it better than you, so don't, just let Billy do it. And a lot of women find themselves, after years of marriage and divorce, they find themselves, holy smokes, now I have a financial situation to take care of and no idea how to do it. So once I saw that and I realized, why are women allowing that? Why are they not self-empowering themselves? Okay, sorry for my grammar, but self-empowering when it comes to money. So the tagline for my chapter is, you're not fully empowered until you're empowered over your money.
I agree.
And it's a bit in your face, because women walk around talking about empowerment, which they should. And I love that, but get fully empowered.
In all areas.
In all areas.
Yes. And we're going to take a break in a moment, but think about one of the books. What book would you like to talk about, a quick takeaway for experience?
Different things. If it's Gemini Joe, it would be forgiveness, because my father was an alcoholic, and when he told me his story of growing up, it made me I understood him more. It didn't change the kind of father he was, but I understood, and I was able to let it go and forgive. Same thing with my 30-year marriage. I did a memoir about the 30-year marriage, and then after that, I was okay. It was like, but
that's great.
My travel book, Sauce on Sunday, I did Ancestry, so it teaches you, how I found over 100 cousins in Sicily, and I can't go now, but maybe next year I'll be able to go back. But just depending on the book, because I write different genres, so. I'm starting to get more into fiction, historical fiction, which would be for more entertainment, because I think I've exhausted the memoirs.
But the forgiveness, and that book, Gemini Joe, I think that people are going to read it. They're going to be entertained by that book, but it's also going to get them to think about their own family relationships. And I bet you that this has already happened, that people have sent an email, a text, a phone call.
Yes.
I bet you have brought people back together again.
Yes.
So that's very good. So we're going to get some Kleenex and we're going to take a quick break. But we have a lot more to discuss on Treasure Coast Connector. Stay tuned.
A big challenge that we've had for our business during COVID has been keeping the relationships with our clients at a distance.
WeVenture is dedicated to helping ignite the power of small businesses in Indian River and St. Lucie County who've been hit hard by the COVID pandemic. Thanks to a grant from the SBA, WeVenture can now provide support to your business free of charge.
Our WeVenture one-on-one mentorship taught us how to pivot and strengthen our business even during COVID.
Receive one-on-one mentoring, incorporating proven solutions to help your business survive, even thrive in this challenging environment.
During COVID, my main goal was to keep my employees paid and reopen safely.
WeVenture is dedicated to helping ignite the power of small businesses in Indian River and St. Lucie County who've been hit hard by the COVID pandemic. Thanks to a grant from the SBA, WeVenture can now provide support to your business free of charge.
WeVenture helped me navigate all the loan processes. I don't know what I would have done without them.
Receive one-on-one mentoring, incorporating proven solutions to help your business survive, even thrive in this challenging environment.
Hello, I'm Bill Wright from the Grill Place in Vero Beach. Do you need propane? The Grill Place fills propane tanks on site. We're located at the intersection of Old Dixie and 12th Street. Don't get gassed out during grilling season. Come and see me at the Grill Place. Propane done right.
The 12th Annual Marine Flea Market and Seafood Festival returns to the Indian River Fairgrounds in Vero Beach May 1st and 2nd from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. This is a bargain hunter's dream come true. Get great deals on rods, reels, lures, apparel, nautical decor, and other marine items. Enjoy a variety of fresh, delectable seafood prepared on-site and free fishing seminars. For directions, discount tickets, and vendor information, please visit flnauticalfleamarket.com. That's flnauticalfleamarket.com.
Sturgis Lumber is more than just lumber. Timber! Residential, commercial, and industrial applications. Sturgis has all of the hardware to help with your project. Visit SturgisLumber.com. 4 generations strong, Sturgis Lumber and Hardware. More than just lumber.
Riverside Theater presents Live in the Loop and the Comedy Zone. Live in the Loop Outdoor Grill and Bar offers outdoor dining with live music plus indoor dining with comedy in the Wax Lax this weekend. Strict CDC and state guidelines will be followed, including reduced public capacity and face mask use. Cleanliness and hygiene safety have been reinforced. Enjoy a thrilling evening with live music, uproarious adult stand-up comedy, and dining at Riverside Theater. For details and to obtain tickets, visit riversidetheater.com.
Hi, I'm Vicki Soule, CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health. Treasure Coast Community Health has been serving Indian River County for 25 years. How did we get here? It took a commitment to you to provide you with the most affordable, high-quality, integrated network of healthcare available anywhere. It took board-certified doctors and dentists and a dedicated staff to ensure that you receive the best possible care. It took more locations to meet the need, and now TCCH has 7 locations, with the latest one conveniently located down the street from Cleveland Clinic Indian River Hospital. Our services are available to everyone, whether insured or not, and at TCCH, no one gets turned away due to an inability to pay. We rely on donations from generous benefactors to continue our much-needed work. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and almost all insurances. Call us at 772-257-8224 or visit us at tcchinc.org.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and I've been chatting with Emily McHugh, Diana Moret, and Janet Searsant. They are 3 successful Treasure Coast business women. They are also authors, so we were celebrating their literary and business talents. And now, you know what, before we talk about a few other things, how do they find your books? So we're going to start with you, Miss Janet.
My books are available on Amazon or any bookstore, which I prefer if you go to Vero Beach Book Center because I like to shop local. And we're so lucky to have that bookstore. So many bookstores, physical, brick and mortar. are closing, and we don't want that. I mean, when it's too late and they can't stay open, we're going to regret it. So I always tell people to go to the bookstore and they can order my books there.
Very good. And then if you could spell for the people on Spreaker and on the radio, WCZR, how do you spell, like Janet, Janet, but how do you spell your last name?
It's like Sears and Ant, SIERZANT.
Okay, very good. Diana.
My book is available under the Experts and Influencers series on Amazon. That's but by the way, we were an Amazon bestseller.
I know.
7 countries, 35 categories.
That is awesome. Wow.
Yes, it's a fun book. So I got a lot of good press.
Yes, you did. Emily.
Well, I'll join in and say Amazon.com. You can find the Little Girl's Guide to Entrepreneurship on Amazon. Just type it in, or my name, Emily McHugh, and you'll find it there. And it's also on my website as well, but it's emilymchugh.com, or you can just go straight to Amazon.
Okay. And so for your businesses, the publishing company, La Maison Publishing, you're here in Vero Beach.
Yes.
And it's lamaisonpublishing.com, correct?
Yes, and I coordinate writers groups in town. I have a Skype writers group on Friday and at the Riverside Park, and I just started a genealogy writers group. So because we do have a genealogy department in our library, and everyone wants to write their stories.
Very good. And that's what you do.
Yes.
You help people get the book from here,
yes,
and give them that confidence to get it out to the world.
Right.
Okay.
So cool.
Yes, and you are a numbers slayer. When numbers are out of control.
I love that.
Yes.
Numbers slayer.
Yes.
I'm going to get that printed out.
I've only had half of one glass, truly. But so when business owners feel like they are out of control, and you're working with the small and medium-sized businesses.
Yes.
And a virtual CFO.
Fractional CFO, yeah.
What does that mean, and what is the advantage of that?
Thank you. So if you want to find me, I'm at dianamoret.com. And a fractional CFO is the bridge between your accounting and your CPA, your accountant. So your accountant is a genius, knows tax, knows about reporting, and that is extremely useful. And a lot of CPAs can also do advisory services. But some CPAs choose not to do advisory. So that's the gap that I fill, is the gap between the CPA and advisory services. So how do I manage my cash flow? How do I generate more profit, generate more revenue, generate more cash flow? Because I now have a very strong belief that cash flow is better than profit. And we all know that, right? So I work with business owners to perfect that so that they have cash flow in their businesses and they can count on it.
And as a virtual CFO, it's a fraction of the price as if you were directly on their payroll only.
Yes.
So that is good. You have a dashboard that you put together. You took a company, you scrubbed. I have no idea the name of the company or anything like that. I know that it's food service. And I know that in that snapshot, they thought that their cash flow was pretty good, but they only had enough for like 1 month. If I was the owner, I would faint.
Hyperventilating, yeah.
Yes, and but then again, you're able to show them what products they had were driving their business.
Correct.
And some of their products were, hurting them in a way.
Yes.
So it was eye-opening. And Diana Moret, for those that are listening, MERET.com.
That's it.
Very good.
Thank you.
Emily, please tell us about Cosori, because when I have my laptop bag on my shoulder, I am stopped a lot and people go, "That's beautiful." And I tell them, it's a Cosori. Yeah.
Well,
I have that.
This one you have.
That's the one I have.
Our business card cases. That also is great to store lipstick, etc.
Yes, it is. Magnetic closure.
So to be kind of multi-purpose. But this started as a class project when I was in business school, recognizing the need for more stylish laptop bags for women, because I didn't like the one I had. And my sister made one, and from there we kind of realized there was a need in the marketplace. So we've evolved to have not only cases, tech cases, but also travel cases and travel bags And last year, most recently, with the pandemic, etc., we made masks. We were on a major mask making.
You know what I just realized? We are done. We are actually no longer taping. You know what? We are entertaining.
When did we finish?
We finished like 20 seconds ago.
Oh.
And you know what it is?
What
that
happened?
this is the first time in the history of the 2 years that this has happened, because normally she'll do the 2-minute signal
Yeah,
and then
she
the
does
1
that.
minute signal.
Got lost in the
I have
conversation.
to, okay, here's the deal.